I've noticed that I start treating people bad, start treating people terrible whenever I have low self-esteem at the moment. Whenever I feel mad at the world is when I start treating others just not like who I am. I start treating them like how I talk to myself. And I feel like whenever we do go out in the grocery stores or whatever at our jobs, I think a lot of people are just mad at themselves nowadays. And that's why we are treating people so unkindly, not like they're humans. I think a lot of people very much just have low self-esteem or mad at themselves. And that does not make it right to take it out on other people. Whenever I do, I look back and I'm like, wow, like I'm tweaking. Like, why would I do that? Why would I say that? But a lot of it just comes from me just having low self-esteem, me being mad at myself, me being mad at the world. And I start taking it out on other people whenever that's not who I am. It's really just me arguing with myself. And then I start projecting my expectations on other people whenever you should never do that. Your expectations are your expectations. Everyone has their own life. Everyone lives how they want. Everyone lives to their own standards, to their own expectations. And it's not your place. I had to learn it's not my place to set expectations on others. It's not my place to tell them what they should be doing. Like, who am I to judge? Why would I judge you? And I'm not perfect myself. I'm far from it. But I'm over here judging others. When in reality, I should only be judging myself. Putting expectations on others whenever those are yours. They're nobody else's but yours. That is your business. And that is something, I'm still working on. I'm still learning. And I think that's what a lot of people do whenever it's not right. It's not right for that person to be treated like that just because you're having a bad day or, you're not living up to your own expectations. You shouldn't have to take it out on others. Your girlfriend break up with you, so now you mad at everyone. Now you cussing out your family. Man, come on. Of course, we're gonna make mistakes and we do it not even consciously. Like, we're treating others, we're talking to others, but we don't even notice that we're treating them unfairly until you really look back and you're like, wow, like, I'm telling them to do this, I'm telling them to do that. When in reality, it's what you want from yourself. Like, you're trying to tell others to be productive, you're trying to tell others not to lay in bed and, go get up after it, go grind. At least that's what I was doing. Like, I'm like, come on, like, let's go grind, like, let's do something. And I'm telling others, but it's really, that's just what I want for myself. And I wasn't doing it myself. And I would doubt myself. I would, not see myself as highly just because I couldn't do the things that I wanted to do. I could, but it was just hard for me to. Maybe I like the motivation. Maybe I like the discipline. But it was just hard for me to get up out of bed and do that same thing over and over and over. It's really hard too whenever you really do feel like you grind and like you feel like you're putting in that work. It feels like you're doing everything right, but you just see no results. You don't see the results you wanted to see or the things that you thought you would see. And it's very hard to keep going day after day whenever you just don't see them or you aren't getting the things you wanted. It's very hard to wake up the next morning and still chase after it. But you always got to remind yourself you're building it brick by brick. You're every day you just do a little, even if it's a little something, you're still stacking that brick. You know, some days you're gonna stack a lot of bricks. Some days you're gonna stack maybe one or two. But as long as you're doing something to get there, then you should be proud of yourself. You should feel like you accomplished something, because you did. You're slowly but surely building it. You're building what you want to get to. And that's what I'm trying to live by. You know, stacking it brick by brick. You know, it's not all going to come in just one day. It's not going to all come in 2 days. But very slowly, you know, maybe months, weeks, years, it will come. As long as you're doing something to get to it. You know, you're stacking it. That's just what I'm trying to live by. And I feel like this helps us with our self-esteem. You know, it helps you know that you did something. You know that you did something good for yourself. Even if that's just a 10-minute walk, you know, for you trying to lose weight or you trying to get back in shape. If it's just a 10-minute walk, you're building something. You're putting down another brick. And then maybe the next day you have a 50-minute workout. All right, you stacked more bricks. And then the next day, you know, 30-minute. As long as you're doing something to get there, then we should all feel proud of ourselves for doing that. Because then one day you will, with all those bricks built up. And then maybe then, we'll stop treating people so bad. Because then we'll see ourselves highly. You know, we'll have some more self-esteem. We'll be more proud of ourselves. That's just what I have to remind myself. And it's been working for me. You know, I feel happier knowing that I did something. Even if it's just a little something. I did it. I put down another brick. So let's go. But I hope y'all have a blessed day. And I hope the best for y'all. Thank you.